One thing still amazes me about this industry. Really smart people make really expensive decisions based on information that simply isn't true. Some of it's marketing, some of it's just outdated advice. And unfortunately, good businesses waste thousands of dollars because of it. I'm Shane McGrath. Back in 2003, I co-founded the home fragrance brand Ecoya, and today I'm the CEO of Luxe Aroma Fragrance House. Over the past 2 decades, I've partnered with tens of thousands of fragrance businesses, from people launching their very first product to established brands marketing it at serious scale. And over that time, one pattern has become impossible to ignore. Success in this industry rarely comes down to finding the perfect fragrance. It comes down to making better business decisions. So in this episode, I'm going to challenge one of the biggest myths I see every week. People think they're choosing a fragrance. I don't think they are. I think they're choosing a business partner. Here's something that genuinely doesn't make sense to me. People will spend weeks creating a logo, months choosing packaging, thousands of dollars building a website. Then they'll choose the one thing their customers actually remember by smelling it for 30 seconds from a bottle. I've never understood that. If you think about it in its raw sense, it doesn't make much sense. Because fragrance isn't just another ingredient, it's one of the biggest commercial decisions you'll make. Customers never see your supplier. They never see your testing, and they never see your quality control. They don't know how carefully you weighed your ingredients. They experience one thing, the finished product. They light the candle. They spray the perfume. They open the diffuser. And within seconds, they're deciding whether your brand deserves a second purchase. That's why I don't think you're buying a fragrance. You're investing in whether that customer comes back. People often ask why I obsess over testing. The answer has very little to do with fragrance. Before this industry, I trained as a civil engineer. Then I spent 10 years as an international pilot for Qantas, flying passengers around the globe. Those industries teach you something that never leaves you. Small variables create enormous consequences. That's a powerful lesson because it changes how you look at every problem. Nobody wants an engineer who says, that bridge is probably fine. Nobody wants a pilot who says, we'll just see how this landing goes. Precision matters. Testing matters. Systems matter. So when I entered the fragrance industry, I was genuinely surprised by how much advice was based on opinion instead of evidence. That didn't make sense to me then, and it still doesn't. Here's another myth. People think they can judge a fragrance by smelling it straight from the bottle. I don't, because the bottle isn't the product. The candle is, the diffuser is, the perfume is. Your customer never buys a bottle of fragrance oil. They buy an experience. I've experienced fragrances that smell incredible in the bottle and then perform terribly once it's in the wax. I've also known of fragrances that aren't impressive in the bottle and then become outstanding performers in the finished product. Why? Because fragrance doesn't live in the bottle. It lives in the system, the wax, the wick, the formulation, the cure time, the environment. The bottle tells you almost nothing. Performance tells you everything. I'll tell you a story, early days of Ecoya, 2003. The first 20 cents turned up from the US. We did some smelling in the bottle, thought, yeah, 10 of these smell pretty good. Let's launch with these. We sent them off to the graphic designer, start working on the packaging, started picking colors. So while all that was happening, meanwhile, we actually made some candles with them and started test burning, only to quickly find that they didn't burn well. And some of them we couldn't smell at all. So we quickly learned that you can't just choose a fragrance from the bottle. You must test it in the exact application that you're going to be using it for. So what did we do? We started ordering hundreds of scents and we started extensively testing, realizing that we needed to test a lot more than just 10 or 20 cents to be able to launch this new brand Ecoya. Now, most people skip this step because the harsh reality is testing is boring, it's time consuming, and it's expensive. But it's a far more financially savvy step than creating a range that never sells or never generates repeat business. Testing in your application over and over is crucial. Testing matters. Consistency matters. High quality fragrance oil built to perform in your product matters. So if you take one thing away from today's episode, let it be this. Don't choose fragrance the way a shopper does. Choose it the way a business owner does. Ask better questions. How will this actually perform? Will my customer buy it again? Can I manufacture it consistently? Can I build a business around it? How reliable is the supplier? Because once you start asking better questions, you start making better business decisions. And better business decisions build better fragrance businesses. If today's conversation simply gets you asking better questions, then I think that's a pretty powerful outcome, because that's really what this is about. Cutting through the noise, avoiding expensive mistakes, and helping you build a successful fragrance business. And if somewhere along the way you decide you'd like a manufacturing partner who thinks the same way, we'd love to have that conversation. You can find us at luxaroma.com. Link is in the bio. I'm Shane McGrath. Thanks for joining me inside the Fragrance House.